Kelis comes out and alleges some violence against Nasir
Have you guys
Jones.
watched the interview?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I watched the whole interview.
I
times.
just watched a clip of it.
I found it really interesting, just because you see her talking about it,
Right.
and it's interesting to hear somebody talk about abuse like that, but not be so
Like calm, I guess.
Yeah.
She's very, very calm and like very, very
Like
level-headed
it's okay,
about.
almost.
Not that it's okay,
Well,
but
she's come to
that
terms with
she's-
it.
Yeah, that she's completely
come to terms with
it,
it.
and that it's the past, and she also like takes responsibility for some things that
Right.
happened in it, which I also found was interesting, because at one point she says, did he hit me?
Yes.
Did I hit him back?
Yes.
Right.
Right.
So she was right back at him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen
so,
to her music though. Like, I hate you so much
well,
right
she
now.
talks
Like,
about that.
That was before Nas.
that was before. And then she's
Actually,
bringing the milkshake out
She
after.
talks
But
about
like,
that, and she was
You
like,
know
the
she
hard
is.
thing about me
Yeah.
is that my first song was caught out there, and that totally branded me. But I was so young that I didn't realize that it would brand me as this person that I
That's gonna
am
be-
not. That's necessarily not me.
That's
So
right.
people, she was saying how like throughout this whole thing with Nas, people think that she's just a crazy bitch, and then like based off of her music, people just are like, well, duh, like look at your music, and she's like, that's
You know what I
not
found?
who I
The
am.
only part with the interview that I sort of, I say struggle, but so she started off talking about, I'm private. I don't like, I like to be to myself. And then you put this very personal thing out in the atmosphere.
Right.
Where it just, like, what is it? Like, is it
She
real?
said it. She said that she's been talked about so much by him that she's like, this was my last straw. He had filed, and I'm just, I can't be silent anymore because people really think I'm this person who I'm not. So I think it was her time to kind of be like, this is what's going on from my point of view, because we've only heard one point of view.
I think the reason why people, like, I didn't watch the interview, but I've seen reports, and I just so I don't know as much about it as like you do, because you've seen it so many times. But I think
Who's
she's
counting?
thorough. She's seen the interview.
Research purposes.
But I think the reason why there's like a negative response to Kelis, and people not really wanting to like, come down on Nas, and I think about like Chris Brown and Rihanna. It's just like if she's mentioning that first song, so that branded her as this crazy person, as this really aggressive kind of. So if she's gonna come out and say, yeah, he hit me, but I hit him too. But if you watch, there's a documentary on Chris Brown on Netflix where he literally said, I hit her, she hit me back.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She's like, and it was a common thing. We would go back and
Also, we
forth.
should talk
But
about that documentary.
even Rihanna in the Oprah interview where she
She contradicted herself too.
Yeah, so it was they were physical towards each other. It wasn't one
that kind of
sided. But
relationship.
there's we don't act the same way towards Rihanna as we act towards Kelis.
Right.
And I think it's
because we saw the photos.
Yes, exactly. We've seen the photos, and even if we haven't seen the photos of Kelis, like, she again has this image where she's the troublemaker. She's not easy to deal with, kind of thing. So it kind of,
and she does say
even
that
if
about
she's
herself
being,
too.
even if she's being very truthful,
Right.
so people really
Like
aren't going to
she,
give her the
like she did take
she's-
culpability for her actions within the relationship
Because
as
she
well.
actually
But she also says, she's like, I'm 5'10", I can obviously defend myself.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
very
a-
combative. Like, she's not like she's like, oh,
Right.
like
she grew up in a neighborhood.
Yeah,
she grew up in
like,
Harlem,
she,
didn't she?
She grew up in Harlem, I
she
think,
realizes, and then so that's I like totally see what you're saying. I see
Wait,
that.
so a
It's
Queens guy
exactly-
married a Harlem
But
girl?
I know,
at the end of
right?
the day,
Crazy.
what? What I mean, like, yeah, she's a big girl. She can throw some punches. She can do whatever. But that doesn't mean it's okay for him to do it back.
No.
Oh yeah,
Because
exactly.
I mean, I'm
No,
I'm not a
absolutely
small I'm not a small guy by any means. Okay, and I've been in many relationships where girls get crazy, whatever. But I do not, and I will not. You know what I mean? By any stretch of the imagination, lay my hands on anybody. And my son's mom, I know we've had situations when he was younger, and she was like, she's from Jane and Finch. She's Trinity and Jamaican, so she's got all kinds of hot blood boiling inside of her. And she came at me. And I was like, I just went like this, and I just turned. I just turned my back, and I said, leave. I said, just go out the front door.
Right.
Just get out of here.
Right.
I'm not going to put my hands on you.
Right.
And I just kind of tried to like usher her to that situation.
Right.
I think it takes
And
a
she
certain
attributed-
individual to think that way.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, because if I had just went like that,
Sure.
The
too
narrative
much.
changes.
she would have.
Yeah.
The
You know what I
narrative
mean?
changes
But I
automatically.
get that, and
She attributes it to his drinking. She's like, we would go out, he'd
Yeah.
rock out, and
Right.
I get that because I'm an
Yeah.
artist and I've been an artist and I've enjoyed
Beverages.
VIP service
Totally.
that you get, and yeah, I can understand that happening, which doesn't under.
It's
It
not an
doesn't.
excuse.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
No.
And again, you've been with me,
Mm-hmm.
and so is Chris. And you, sir.
Sometimes.
But it doesn't excuse it. And afterwards,
Right.
I've always apologized to my people for my behavior. You know what I mean? And that's what it comes down to. There's a lot of people that have skill. There's a lot of people that have talent. There's a lot of people that have all kinds of shit. But do they have integrity at the end of the day? And if you don't have that integrity,
Sure.
it doesn't matter what else comes after that, I think. Really.
Sound man.
You know what I mean?
So I'm just wondering, what's interesting to me here is it almost sounds like you guys are kind of like defending, or you're condoning Nas's actions because of Kelis's image.
You should
We
never
didn't-
hit
no.
anybody in
Exactly.
general.
I
I'm
said-
saying
I
I
said
found it
by any
We're just
interesting.
saying that we find it commendable that she, brought upon culpability on her end of the
Yeah.
spectrum
You
as
just
well.
stood up and
We're not
said,
saying he had the right to
I
hit her
followed
because
up
she
on
hit
it.
him.
Like, she
We're just
said,
saying we
I-
found it
Like,
interesting
raising my hand.
that she said that he hit her, that she hit him as well.
Yeah.
And you don't normally hear that often. You normally hear about the guy beating the woman, and that's it.
She could have easily just said, "Oh, he beat me."
Exactly, but then when you hear about, like, let's say a
She
woman
said,
being a
"I
man,
fought back."
and let's say Liza Minnelli, for example, used to beat up on her husband,
Yeah.
we kind of clown the guy because of the double standard society that we live in.
Right.
So that's
And
all.
that's
That's all we're
why
coming
I
down
thought
to.
the
Thing
We're not
that
defending
I'm
anybody.
not really confused about, I guess, like on the fence, is that she's come out and she said, we had this abusive relationship. It was mutual.
Right.
Are we supposed to, like, again,
She doesn't
never
make it
put your
seem
hands
as-
on never put your hands on a woman, but I'm like, it's mutual.
Yeah,
So
I don't think people
This
should
was
hit. I don't think
foreplay? Was
people
this
should hit
foreplay?
each
No,
other.
I'm
I don't
kidding.
think people should hit each other.
But you know, they always say
In
make up
general,
sex.
like I don't think anybody should put hands on
Agreed,
anybody.
agreed.
Woman, like I don't think
100%.
anybody should hit
Yeah,
anybody.
But I
but-
just don't know what the outcome of this should be. Like, is she saying it so that we can tear down? Are we supposed to cancel Nas now because we know this,
Yeah.
or are we just
Like,
I
why
think
is this
that-
coming out
I
now?
think her
Like,
idea
what's the
behind
motive?
it
what
is
to do with
because
this information?
I think her idea behind it is because Nas
I put stuff on.
is he's so celebrated.
Well respected.
He's very well respected,
yeah.
and she
Like,
makes a point
Illmatic.
that like he really does care about his image, but this is the image that I know because I was married to him.
Yeah.
So she's kind of like, this is
Well, she knows him better than anybody
exactly.
else.
So she's like, this is the person that I really know, and yeah, it's interesting.
But
And
my
I think that's why she did it.
question is, like, based on what happened in that relationship, is she trying to say that those actions define who he is overall,
No.
and that's how we should take him?
I think she's
I don't
showing.
think-
She's
that's not
showing.
what I got from
I
her.
have a different perspective from
Yeah.
what the rest of you see.
Behind closed doors. This
And
you
like
don't see this
he's
Nas.
coming out saying that she doesn't let him like see his son and stuff, and she's like,
I've heard those
tell you
stories
that's
as
not
well.
the truth.
Yeah,
So she's
right.
kind of like she didn't just go and be like, Nas used to hit me, like that wasn't the
Yeah,
whole point of the
right,
interview, but she
yeah.
kind of broke down these are things that happen in our
Yeah.
relationship, and these are the things that you're seeing about me, and they're not true.
And
What
things
he
that
said
Nas
is
has
true,
said,
this is the real
And this
story.
right,
this is
and things that Nas has said about Kelis on record, like in records and songs, nothing defaming or anything like that. He just talked about how their relationship broke down. And he's not saying, "Oh, you're a B, you're a C," or anything like that. No, he's just saying, "Listen, we were young, we were married, we were in love, we did some reckless things, and
The
that was it."
relationship
Like if you
doesn't
listen to
sound-
the album "Life Is Good," you listen to the end of the record "Bye Baby," he basically gives an entire dossier of how their relationship kind of fell apart due to errors on both his end that he took culpability for, and then errors on her end as well. He's just documenting it. What we do with that information is upon us, but he's not trying to defame her in any way. I didn't get that, at least, and I'm a Nas fan, so I can actually see that from that standpoint too.
I know, but if she's saying he cares about his image and there's a reason why we don't have this sort of perception of Nas, is like he's
Right.
never going to do that on a song.
Right.
So we're, even if it didn't, even like he's not going to do that publicly.
But
So-
why now?
But
That's my
publicly,
only
he puts out an
question.
album with like a wedding
Well, some
dress on his
people wouldn't be
lap.
From what I
But
understand,
I think everyone knows, like, before then, like, what happened. Like, the divorce is public, the child support they had to pay, the fact that she prevented him from seeing the birth of his child, like, the day of or what have you.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much that he had to deal, that he had to compound with. So, of course, you're going to use that type of material to kind of inspire you to do something positive with it. In essence, create an album out of it. And that ended up being arguably his most personal album. And a lot of people say that's one of his top 5 albums as well. So, like, he
From what I
manifested that art
understand,
into something great.
It sounds like she came out with this because he had filed. From what I understand, it was like he had filed, and that was kind of like
filed for what
fine for
exactly?
maybe like custody of their son or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I think that from what I
I thought they already
understand,
figured
That changes
out.
everything.
I
Yeah.
thought they already figured that out. They already said he's going to
Yeah.
get him for these holidays.
Right,
he'll get him
yeah.
for
I
this.
thought they had it
But
in
then,
the
I could be
as
wrong,
soon
but
as they
she
figured
says
that
in it,
out, it
she's like,
came
he
out that
filed.
like someone already messed up on this agreement.
Right.
Someone took him for a
Yeah.
weekend that they shouldn't have had him.
I could be misunderstanding it, but from what it like seems like, it says that that he filed, and then she says like our son wouldn't like want to spend all his time with Nas, and Nas
How
wouldn't
long
want
have they been
that.
divorced for?
About 6, 7 years.
Why is this a thing?
And that's what I'm trying to figure out as well.
Right.
Like I know,
Well,
like I don't
what's
want
the
to
maturity
because
rate,
she's
right?
been,
wrapped up
Because
in
a lot of it because she's been silent for so long, right?
I think she's just trying to get
Like
her
this
point across.
custody battle, like how is a custody battle still happening 6 years after the fact? Don't
Yeah,
Oh, what?
it's
My
weird.
parents were battling for custody until I could well take the bus, and I was like, you guys got all this money, and now I can pick where I want to go. And you guys just went through all of this for so long, and now I just go where I want. Like they were going through it.
You're like, you
for
guys go to
a
court,
long-
I'm just gone.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
going to
you
school,
guys-
I'm gonna work, I'm gonna
For real,
work.
I was
Guys,
like,
I
you
got
guys
my
spent
presso
all
card,
this
I'm
time,
good.
and now I
You
really know
missed
how
two
to take the bus
boyfriends,
from
like,
Scarborough to
whatever.
Forest Hill. Yeah, I was like, it's too late now. So custody battles, they take a long time. Yeah,
Sure.
Now I'm gonna take a page out of Carl's book. Mr. Conspiracy. what
Yeah,
have
okay,
you.
conspiracy
I know,
corner with
right?
DM.
Right?
Oh God.
Now
Conspiracy.
I don't want to. I'm not saying that this is the case, but like it feels very weird that she's saying all this right now because Kanye, and I'm sure we'll get to it very shortly, announced on one of his daily Twitter rants that he produced an album for Nas and it's coming out June 15th.
Right.
And later on, maybe a week at most after that tweet came out,
When did he tweet that?
When did
Kanye
Kanye
tweeted
yeah.
it.
like
He
late
said,
March, I
between
think.
I love
like
Trump
late March.
and
Yeah, exactly.
All
like
the good
late
music,
March.
Tiana Taylor, everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
and
know
he
if I
said
knew
that
the
he
dates
produced an
between
entire album for Nas and it's coming out June 15th. And literally maybe like a week or two after that, we hear the Kelis
interview
story.
came out.
So it's very timely. You know what I mean? Like
Who was the interview through?
that's
No, was it
It's
DJ
a
Black?
publication. No, it's a publication called Hollywood Unlocked.
Right.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah.
So it's not even like Diane Sawyer or something like
No,
that.
no.
No, it's
Bye.
just it's just by this
By
some dude.
Yeah.